Well, the first play I was in was when I was 10 years old. I was in 5th grade, and it was The King and I. And I've been doing school plays and community theater plays ever since then.
It was 78. It was My Fair Lady, and I was Henry Higgins, and that'll be the first full actual musical that I ever did, and it was obviously in junior high. So that puts me at 39 years doing community theater.
My favorite line that Mr. Bennet has is when he says to Mrs. Bennet, "Let us take comfort, my dear, in that I might be the sole survivor and you might die before me," basically is his line.
Yeah, well, you're paraphrasing just like I do on stage.
And it's just a really funny moment because, for one thing, I just think it's funny to watch Mr. Bennet kind of needle Miss Bennet, all over Mrs. Bennet all over the stage, and then part of it just sounds like something Brian might say anyway, and so that's what makes it so much fun for me to hear him say that.
It is a pleasure to have Laura Adams on stage. She has energy. She is playing this role so well, and I like needling her because of the role. To pick a favorite one is really hard because every time she's on stage, even if she's not interacting with me to stand back and watch her, it's been a real pleasure. But I think one of my favorites, it starts between Lizzie and I. Well, an unhappy alternative is before you, Elizabeth. If you do not, your mother will never see you again if you do not marry Mr. Collins. And then my next line is, and I will never see you again. And I look her straight in the face and say, if you do. And she's got this mean look at me, and then I pat her on the back and I walk off and act like I'm not even kind of ignoring her so I can make this face to the audience, because her next line infers that I don't know what's going to happen to everybody after you're dead. And I pop my head forward and then I turn around and look at her. So, and then she rambles off and I go and I touch Lizzie on the shoulder. It's just a really nice moment with the whole family.
Well, I think as an English teacher that it is supremely important to study the classics. And there are so many reasons, but just to name a few, I think that the way the syntax of classic literature is so elegant and beautiful, and we can learn so much about expression from reading it, and the vocabulary is superb. And then, especially with Jane Austen, you're going to find mimics of her all over modern culture. And so I think it's just really beneficial to read the original and to see why that it has been in constant publication since, except for I think 6 years since she wrote it. It's pretty amazing.
The Theatre Downstream has done a lot to bring people together here in Henry County. The tickets are inexpensive. You could bring your family and come to see the show. This is a wonderful cast, many of them from Henry County, some from outside the county. It is a wonderful show. I think you're going to enjoy watching it. I know you're going to enjoy watching Laura and Lizzie and Darcy, and there's just so many characters in the show. We've gone to a lot of trouble. Of course, I'm going to say because of the set, because I build the sets. But there has just been so much put into the show, and I think the more people come see what's going on at the Theatre Downstream, the more they're going to want to be involved, because Theatre Downstream is not just about performing for audiences, it's about bringing those audiences into the family and having more people come and enjoy the camaraderie. I mean, we're here for 2 months rehearsing this show, so we're getting together, we're going to lunch together on Saturdays, we get to know each other. You call people when you need some help, with something, and it's kind of a family. So that's a big reason to come to a show at the Theatre Downstream.